you can have a range between 210 and 225. And depending on how strict you want to be, you may give them a 5 to 10 gram buffer. If you want them to be not as strict, you could give them a 15 to 20 gram buffer, which again, for like a protein or carbs, would be around the 250 calories plus or minus. Some of the pros, you can get lean enough to satisfy pretty much most types of clients. Maybe not a bodybuilder, but using macro ranges can work for the majority of people. You shouldn't really have to go any further unless they are a special circumstance or they want to track absolutely everything and hit every macro on the dot. So it keeps people on track, but it gives them the flexibility and less OCD tendencies, as in have to hit to the gram. It's good for those who are used to tracking the exact grams. So it could be something they could use post-diet to incorporate and allow a little bit more flexibility. Some of the cons, it may be too much effort for some and doesn't necessarily build good habits with regards to food choices, because again, they may just be thinking about hitting numbers. And as a coach, we need to make sure we're not just giving them information in regards to hitting macros, but also fruit and veg, and also water and other stuff like that, and fiber considerations. Again, Eric Helms is going to go through macro-based diets in a lot more detail in module 2. The later stage of prep, again, we need to be a little bit more accurate and have the ranges a little bit more shorter. And finally, method 13, tracking all of the macros. Some of the pros, it's the highest level of accuracy that we have when we track all of the macros. It's the best method to getting absolutely shredded. For numbers orientated people, they may just really like tracking all of the macros, and it's their little safety blanket. Some of the cons, it's a lot more time consuming. You're probably thinking about food all of the time because you're thinking about what macros do I have left? If I eat this, it means I can't eat that later. What do I have available at home? Is the protein source high fat, but I've already spent all of my fat intake during the day? So again, it can lead to a lot more time consuming and thinking of food all the time. And it can lead down the rabbit hole of people binge eating or food anxieties, or basically becoming MyFitnessPal's BFF. So what is the best approach for your client? I don't know. I honestly do not know, because every client is different, and the factors you need to take into account are their nutritional age, are their goals, their motivation, their current training, their current lifestyle, and the environment that they're in. And you need to have this communication with that client. But now you have 13 different methods, even more than that, that you can use and utilize. My advice would be, if someone is relatively new to this, or they've been on many fad diets and they don't really have a great relationship with food, more than likely you would have them slightly lower down on the pyramid. The more someone actually enjoys tracking all of the macros and is a numbers person, the higher up you would have them. But make sure that they are not this, and they have to be that for the rest of their life. Start them here and allow them to go up and down, up and down. Bodybuilding show, exact macros. Okay, going on a holiday, ad lib. Protein semi-track. Give them the flexibility to make good decisions and make sure that it's mutually agreed upon with yourself and your client, rather than just telling them you're doing this. It's not really going to work that well if you are a dictator and you're telling them what exactly they need to do.